Hi everyone, it's Tanya from Tanya Grouse Horsemanship, and you are joining me for episode 20 of the Millie Diaries. She's right here beside me. She's having a big yawn. So as you can probably tell by my clothing, it's the same day as episode 19. So I've come out this afternoon. Oh, she's having a nice big yawn, a big roll of the eyes. And I'm just gonna catch her. That was lovely, and what I've decided to do this afternoon is go ahead and worm her. So I've got the actual wormer. I have dipped the head of it in molasses, even though the molasses, obviously we don't know whether she likes it or not. It's just something to distract her and something a little bit familiar, because obviously I did it with her this morning with molasses that I squirted out of the syringe. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to get it all in her, because it is the full moon tonight. I would have liked to do a little bit more prep. You know, this morning was the first time that she just really accepted it and let me squirt it in. But again, you know, the same as what happened eventually with her feet, it got to the point where I decided, you know what, it's more important to get the feet done to make sure that no more damage or no damage is being done to her. So the same has gone on for worming. We've had episode 20, so we've had 19 days of preparation for this, and you know, along with obviously the feet and the catching and all the other stuff we've been working on. So hopefully it's just going to run pretty smoothly. So obviously this is the first time I've tried to put the bigger, the bigger syringe in her mouth, and it's panicking her a little bit. I didn't depress the plunger, so that's not from the taste or anything, although she probably can smell that it's actual wormer. So it's time to go back to the training that I invested in all that time, put the wormer next to her face. I don't know whether it was actually the little sound that it made that startled her, or whether it's just bigger, or whether it touched one of her teeth or whatever. Now you can see there that I just had it on the side of her mouth, and I had just started to put the nozzle in her mouth. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So I like that. That was pretty good. I didn't depress the plunger again. I just want to try and get back to. I think it must have been the sound of it that scared her, because you saw she was quite frightened then. She sort of really jumped backwards and you know, snorted and everything like that. So as with my practice, I have had that lead rope looped under my arm in preparation. In case something went wrong. I don't have it looped around my arm. Good girl. And that was pretty uneventful. I did depress the plunger. You probably saw a little bit did spit out, which is pretty typical with most horses. You know, and I did get I got a 500 kilo dose into her, which she wouldn't be anywhere near, or she's probably about 400 kilos or something like that. Because she hasn't been wormed very much at all in the past, we know that she got wormed to go to the colt start, but prior to that, nothing. I'm not really too worried about it, because what I'm going to go ahead and do over the coming weeks is continue with her worming training, and then I'm going to go ahead and worm her again in another 14 days, just to make sure that we get any sort of scavengers, any that are left behind. Now you can see what was really interesting was that Rip, when she panicked like that and ran backwards, and she sort of started really sort of snorting and being bothered, Rip really, he got worried, and then he kind of took off. And then what he's done now is he's come back up to her, and he actually just gave a little nicker and you know, touched her on the nose. He was quite worried about what was sort of going on with her there. So she's got a little bit of molasses, obviously your typical worming paste with the you know, with the funny taste in there. She's not loving it. I'm not letting her go straight away because I just wanted to try and restore a little bit of you know, niceness into it. But I'm going to take the halter off now, reward her for that good behaviour, and then you know, we'll keep working on it tomorrow. So I'm really happy. Like I say, we got that 500 kilos of worming paste into her. She's decided she's gonna try and spit it out. Yeah, that one tastes funny, doesn't it? Not very nice at all. But I'm happy enough with that. Like I said, wanted to get it done today. Would have liked a little bit more preparation in regards to it, but all things considered, I'm happy enough that we've got the wormer into her tonight, and you'll be able to see in 2 weeks. What you know, what happens with the second wormer. And I actually did the other day try and get one of these, the wormer that I just used, the big syringe that I just used. I tried to get an empty one because I did have in the back of my mind that obviously the real wormer it's a lot bigger, etc, etc, and I didn't really think about the noise that it made, and I'm sure I'll see it on the replay. I'm pretty sure exactly what happened was, just as I got it in her mouth, the little measurer that allows you to adjust how much wormer you're giving, it actually rattled, and I think that's what really scared her, was the sound. Because then when I went back in with the syringe, you'll see that you know, she wasn't sort of too worried about it. I thought it might have touched a tooth or something like that, which it could have, but I think it was more the sound that it made. So I'm going to go ahead and work with this one now as the syringe that I'm using. So in a couple of weeks, when I come back out, and he wants to lick the molasses off my hand, so I'll go ahead and let him do that. And in a couple of weeks, I'll go ahead and you know, worm her again, but in the lead up to that, I'll be using that as the training device, so the size and everything is already looked after. So thanks so much for joining me, and have a great day. I'll see you in episode 21. Please let me know if there's anything particular that you'd like to see me do with Millie. I'm just going to go ahead and keep plugging away at what we've been doing, and I'm going to come up with a few more goals, and we'll chip away at them. So thanks so much for watching.